All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sir Links-a-Lot's SEO podcast. It's a podcast where we're on camera talking to you like real humans, but we're on the internet, cyberspace. Hello, Nick. How are you? That might have been our
I
best
like
intro
how
yet.
I liked how you said Bach. Welcome Bach. That was it's good. Yeah, it was a good intro. I hope you do that again. That was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick is back from his adventures in Colombia. He's a changed man.
Mm,
Life has begun
mm,
again.
mm, mm.
Um, yeah, Nick.
Tell you what, I'd live there if I had the opportunity. That's
Well, I
one
think
hell
you
of a
kind of
place.
do. We can work from anywhere. You got the kid in America. Maybe next you start a little family in Colombia. 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. It's like working the oil rig. You're just a hard-working boy.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean I guess that's a way to look at it. Maybe yeah,
Plane
just
tickets
well
would
let's
probably start to get pretty
it's not.
annoying.
Yeah, I think well, it just come out of our company, so
Are there
forget
any
it.
one
Yeah,
way?
right.
Are there any one way to or one like no stops tickets, like one stop
They
direct
typically go
flights?
to Miami and then get it over there. But it's still, I mean, it's like 7, 8 hours tops. So
That's not
one
a short
way,
flight though,
it's not short, no, but it's it's not as bad as going to Asia or
for sure.
Argentina, I guess. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
cool. Glad you had fun, and now it's back to work, back on the
Back to the
internet.
grind, baby.
Yes,
Don't ever
sir.
stop grinding. Hustle. Everybody that's out there, remember, if you want to make it in the SEO world, you got to give it 24/7. Don't stop. Keep going. You've got to rise and grind and get it. Alpha motivation, right?
Let us know how much you like our intro this morning, ladies and gentlemen.
We're trying some new stuff.
Hey,
It's
Carly.
Monday,
Oh,
and we forgot to tell everybody that we're doing a live stream, but Chris is kicking rocks out to the country for a little while. So we had to do it early.
yes, I'll be. Yeah, I
He's
just
gonna
don't know
sow
what my
his
internet
oats.
connection is going to be like for the next week or two. So, quick change of plans. But yeah, hi, Carly. How's it going? If you have any questions, just drop it in the chat and we'll get to you. Today might be a slow stream because we just kind of did it at a completely random time. So don't worry if you think your question is stupid or small or whatever, just go ahead and ask it and we will get to it. Otherwise, we're going to get to this list of audits and stuff that we have. And maybe we'll even have a short stream. So yeah, any question, ask it. Um, I guess we're just going to start with this one, which is an audit, Nick. I'm
All
going
right,
to
let's
go
do it.
ahead and
Yeah, audit's a good idea.
send this over to you. All right, and let's get something up on the screen for the boys and girls. Is that is that politically incorrect to say boys and girls, or do I need to be like more inclusive now?
I don't know anymore. No clue.
Let us know if we are pissing you off.
Yeah, as we grow, we're gonna start asking everybody out there
For
um,
tips.
tips and tricks. Yeah. Yeah, and we
Um,
listen, okay? Don't think that we don't. We listen.
all right. Yeah, actually, being a public speaker these days would be like so stressful for me, honestly, because I bet there's just so much stuff that I say that's like
Yeah.
would make someone upset and I wouldn't even realize I'm saying
Like
it.
you say guys a lot. Guys. Hey guys.
I guess I can't do
Um,
that, huh?
yeah, you're yeah, yeah.
That's just part of like
Yeah.
American language for like the past like million years.
It's
America's
antiquated now, Chris.
America's a
It's
very old country
antiquated.
with history. All right, let's see what he says about this one and we'll get into it.
All right.
So he's got that domain, and then he's got a redirect domain, which, can you see this name right here, Nick?
Yeah.
I'm zooming in for you.
Yeah, I got it.
So it's
Nice.
kind of similar, but kind of not. I think I remember him asking about this in the group before, actually. Okay, let's see what he says real quick.
Interesting niche here that
All
this
right.
guy's got.
I have attached screenshots of the 404 hits I am getting. Okay, I don't have that. Not sure what is going on. Some may be clicking images perhaps, but why would they get a 404? Not sure what the rest are. More concerned with backlinks, anchor profile, spam score, large fluctuations in traffic and keywords over the past 10 years. I bought this site 6 months ago. Okay, so we're probably not going to be able to help you with the 404s right now, to be honest. We're not technical SEO experts, and plus that takes some time to really dive into.
We need like Search Console and stuff.
Screaming Frog and whatnot. But he did redirect a domain. So I'm guessing it could be possible to be getting some 404s like from the redirected domain, depending on how he did it.
For sure. And he did redirect it to, I'm looking at it now, to a inner page, which I don't like to do. Not
He
even
directed the whole
page.
thing to one inner page?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, that could be causing some issues right there.
So what would you recommend he do?
Typically, I believe in only 301ing to the homepage and then recreating permalinks, or 301ing relevant inner pages to existing inner pages. I would recommend doing that. Now there are ways to get a little bit trickier, like you could do it to like a hub page, but I don't really recommend doing that anymore. I personally don't mess with it anymore. If I'm going to do a 301, it's going to be directly to the top level domain, and then just recreating pages, or 301ing to relevant pages.
Gotcha. So either all to the home page, or to some relevant pages, not just
but matching things up, because it's not natural. Like, think about it. If a company buys out another company and then 301's the domain, it's typically going to be to the homepage. Like, they're not going to come up with some kind of obscure blog post that they're redirecting everything to. That's just typically not what happens. And so you want to look at what's most natural and then just go with that. Especially here, it's a blog post of maybe like 2,000 words or so, somewhere in there. It's just not what I would use it for. And the thing is, even though you're probably thinking that the domain that you're 301ing is more relevant to the center page, it's relevant enough on a broad spectrum to go to the homepage, and then there's probably more than enough inner pages that existed within that domain to even redirect some traffic back over here, or some power back over here to this inner page. So, I would go ahead and just do that. It's more natural. You're more likely to get positive resonance out of doing things that way.
Okay. So yeah, let's go take a look at his question again. So he said, more concerned with backlinks, anchor profile, spam score. Spam score, don't pay attention to it. Large fluctuations in traffic and keywords over the past 10 years. He bought it 6 months ago. So yeah, lots of stuff can happen in 10 years. And what you're probably, when you look at this graph and you just see them constantly losing traffic over time, that's very normal for when people just neglect a site. Yeah. Or this is like almost the natural course of a lot of businesses who don't stay up to date with their SEO, right? They do something and it's working initially. They do not adapt to the constant stream of algorithm updates and just the evolving nature of Google. And then, a couple of years later, they say, hey, we're going to go bankrupt and this business no longer exists. And now we're going to sell our website to you, lucky buyer. Right. You can use the backlinks that they got previously and try to turn things around and build a better website on top of it, right? But yeah, so you bought it 6 months ago. So let's see what's happened in that 6 months. So in that 6 months, looks like you started around like 1,500 traffic. Then it really crashed down after the It might have been because of the link spam update, but I'm not really sure if that was the cause. But then
Or it might have just been dropped right there. I mean, if he said he
yeah, I
picked
guess
it
it could have been
up somewhere
expired,
around
huh?
December, right? Yeah. So then it dropped all the way, and he picked it up, started
Oh, you're
building, and now
right.
we're on the way back
Well, is
up.
that 6 months ago? I guess that is about 6 months ago.
Right?
So it could have been, yeah. Depends if he got it expired or aged or whatever. Did he say that?
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, even still, depending on how long it had been sitting, like any number of factors, like
But then it looks like,
it was only, oh well, it had 1,200 traffic, I
but then it
guess.
looks like he got the traffic right back up to basically where it started
Yeah.
at. Um,
Yeah, where it was
So
plateaued
I'd
at.
say, after that little dip that you had there, things are looking pretty good again.
Yeah,
At
it
least
looks
in the
okay.
lifespan of you having the website, if you zoom out and see
Right.
the whole history where it had a ton more traffic before, of course you would think things look horrible, but that's not really the game you're playing, right? You inherited it at a much lower traffic level, and you're kind of getting things back moving now again. Domain's got about
Oh,
96 pages indexed. Looks like it's kind of a culture culture kind of website.
yeah.
Not
Yeah.
really sure. I guess it's going to be going for ad revenue eventually. Did you look at any of the content yet? Homepage
Yeah, I was looking through it.
homepage is just a straight up blog reel, almost like a
Log roll.
PBN or
Yeah.
something.
Looks like a PBN, yeah.
Um, but they're not showing the whole article. And then the if you look at the title tag on the domain, it's literally just like the domain name is the title tag and a hyphen with nothing behind it. So I'm not gonna lie, a little bit to be desired from this home page
Bland.
here. Might want to optimize it a
Yeah.
bit, maybe put some more text on the homepage about what the site's about, stuff like that. Went ahead, I'm clicking through to one of your articles now. Let's see how this is optimized real quick. I guess he didn't even really ask for on-page optimization, but we're giving it to him.
Yeah, here you
Oops, I
go.
downloaded something on accident. Okay, so
It's probably
the
a
article I'm
virus.
analyzing has one H1, one H2, and one H3 for comments. Um, you know, probably not gonna, probably gonna want to beef that up a bit. Let's go and check another article.
So I'm on an article right now. Right out of the gate, I'm seeing two same exact match anchors to an inner page, then a couple of Wikipedia outbound links, then three exact match anchors to a different inner page. So if this is, kind of prefacing what's going on the site, you want to diversify the anchors that you're using to inner pages. So if that's somebody's name or something's name, then you can go ahead and create long tails for that, like a couple exact match here and there is fine. But within the same article, especially if you're linking back to the exact same thing, and honestly, like that wouldn't be my preference. I don't think that's our preference in general over here is, if we're going to link back, if we're going to interlink from one page to another, it's typically just going to be one time, maybe two if it's a long, long article and we find a couple positions that are worthwhile for it. But overall, I'm like it's almost like you came in, and then on top of that, just using Wikipedia as an authority outbound link, I I wouldn't go that route personally.
Looking at another article
Switch it
here,
up a little
his
bit.
H1, he's got an H1, and then he's got an H2 next. That's the exact same thing as the H1. And just like one H1 and one, two, three, four H2s, and that's the entire article. And you're pretty much just looking
Mm,
at walls of text. Then he's got the article featured image up top, and then he uses that same image two more times in the article, and that's all of the images for the article. And they looks like they both link out
mm-hmm.
to something. Maybe no, they don't link out to anything. Um, yeah, he's got some interlinking going on here. One with Wikipedia, one interlink. Um, Here's another
I think he likes Wikipedia a lot.
gotcha. It's not the worst thing in the world, but could do
But I
more,
mean, so I've gone through two articles now and only Wikipedia outbound links.
Yeah. Same on the article I'm on. But I do like how he actually is doing a little bit of interlinking. Not the best in the world, but
Yeah,
got a couple things, and
yeah.
it's to different articles on this one at least.
No, not the worst thing we've ever
But yeah, it's
seen.
kind of like
Just
walls of text and stuff, right? Probably gonna want to break this up, make it a little more user friendly, put some more images in there, maybe expand the article a bit. That's it's not too long. Um, yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm not really sure how well optimized it is, but an article with a H1 and H2 that are exactly the same and just a couple more H2s is a pretty, there's just not too much there. Can break it up a bit more and organize it a bit better. I guess we could check Eat real quick. Looks like it's got like an Our Team and About Us page, but that's all I'm really
yeah.
seeing for Eat. This is the Our Team.
So he's got like an author for each post, but if you click on the author, it just goes to another role. Like no socials,
He
no
does have a
last name, no
LinkedIn. He's got a LinkedIn
image.
on the Our Team page.
Okay.
About Us, yeah, really not too much here. So, as far as your Eat goes, you could probably improve this a bit. You could get some more stuff on your website. You could watch our video
Yeah,
with Kyle Roof about that, about all the different things you can add. Just beef this up a little bit, make it look a little more real. But at least you have something. At least it's a start. I will say for the website overall, there's a lot of stuff I'd like to change and just do better. Just basically keep doing what you're doing, but just do more of it and better. But I feel like, it's clean. The structure seems pretty okay. Like, I feel like it's like a good like start, just gotta
yeah.
kind of keep going with it, right? Keep developing it.
Diversify those authority outbound links. Like there's literally only Wikipedia outbound links
All
here.
right, let's go look at backlinks and anchors, which I think is what he wanted us to look at anyway. So let's
Yeah.
start with
So
anchors.
I looked at anchors a little bit. This site was at some point used as a spam site for Cialis and Viagra. So that could, attribute to a lot of traffic loss over the years. Looks like a lot of it showed up a long time ago. I'm sure for the most part it's been ignored now. I don't think I'd pay it too much attention, quite honestly. Especially since you've got like a graph that's continually moving up since you've purchased these sites. Um, so yeah, overall, the anchor text profile looks okay. I would focus on homepage, branded, naked kind of anchors for the time being, especially as you're just kind of getting started with the
Lots of
site.
Viagra in here, lots of URL
Yeah,
anchors.
1 second.
Yeah, definitely gonna want to diversify that up a bit. Looking at backlinks now. How many referring domains? 220 referring domains. Let's see how many of those are Web 2.0s. All right, so about 50% of the backlinks are Web 2.0s. Do follow, in content, DR, we'll say above 5, domain traffic above 250. Actually, I'm gonna look at this first. Yeah, a lot of this is just kind of spam. A bunch of the stuff with like lowercase titles, like every word in the titles are lowercase. Spam, spam, spam. Lots of spam. Some relevant links in here. Yeah, lots of spam. So I said it's about 50% Web 2.0s, Nick. And
Okay.
then of the 122 links that are left, he's only got one link that we would say is one link that's do follow, contextual, above DR5, and from a domain with more than 250 traffic. So basically,
And it's not a pharma spam? Because
it
I'm
actually
looking
might
through
be.
here just real quick. Like real quick, I'm just looking at the anchors. I'm like, that's a lot
It
of
is
pharma
pharma.
spam. Yeah. Okay.
So,
All right. Well, that's fine though. You've got everything on the way up. Focus on high quality links from here on out. Switch up a few of the things that we were talking about with your on page. But overall, I think you've probably got a niche where it's not terribly competitive. You've probably got a lot of access points. Tighten up things on the on page, and then focus on quality backlinks. You could probably use, even just starting off with some pillow linking. Don't go too crazy, but I think most of this stuff is probably going to be ignored, that you've got going on, and then guest posts, niche edits. I would personally just focus on homepage linking for the time being, with natural anchors until you really see that graph start popping up. Because I think your content looks pretty on point. It's very informational, probably, due to what I'm guessing is pretty good keyword research in this niche. So yeah, don't overthink it. You're on the way up. And just I would be treating it kind of like a new site.
Yeah, as far as backlinks go, definitely, like Nick said, natural stuff to the homepage, natural anchors for now. Don't worry about getting aggressive or anything. Kind of just trying to kind of clean up and make sure that nothing kind of bad happens in the future, like Google decides they hate you again because of your very low quality link profile. So yeah, natural stuff for now. And then as far as content goes, I would look at our podcast with Kyle Roof about Eat, beef that up a little bit. But you got a good start with it. And then
Yeah.
as far as the content goes, like Nick said, interlinking, outbound authority links, get on that a little bit better. And then yeah, structure your articles a bit better with H2s and stuff, H3s, even if you need to break stuff up further. That really goes a long way these days. Make sure you're not repeating like H1 and H2, stuff like that. Looked like title tags weren't really optimized at all either. They're kind of just repeated as the same as the H1 and everything. And yeah, maybe some unique images and just breaking up the articles into something other than just walls of text as far as what users like, give them some bullet points, give them some table if they need it. I don't know, just more variation other than just big paragraph blocks, right? But
Yeah.
the good news is things are looking up. When you look down at your graph over here, that line is going up, and it's not going up very slowly either. It's going up at a pretty good speed. So you must be doing something right. And like Nick said, it might be because the keyword research, kind of lower competition stuff. Maybe the articles are typed up well in Surfer or something. I'm not really sure. But yeah, good start, and just keep going.
For the author page, like it's interesting because my team does have, an image, connection, etc. When you actually go to the author's page by clicking the link of the author within a blog post, there's no connectivity there. Try maybe a plugin like Publish Press Authors, which really simplifies, connecting all of that stuff together, getting it resonating through the website real quickly and easily.
All right. Excuse me. Looks like we got some questions here. Start with Carly.
Here they come, rolling on in.
All right. Here's one that you may have already answered. How did you get your start in internet marketing and SEO? What kept you interested? We actually just went on someone else's podcast for the first time, Chris Miles, a week or two ago, and he's going to be putting it up hopefully in another week or two or within the month or so. But yeah, we'll run through it real quick. I'm gonna give the Spark Notes summary of it.
We have a YouTube video up
Yeah, I got one of
actually
these as well.
in there that used to be the showcase video. But
Yeah,
yeah,
me and Nick both got started in kind of similar way. Nick actually got me into SEO, so Nick came first. We kind of worked at really similar companies that were very sales driven, really hardcore, horrible hours. Just they made you work. You could make money at these companies, but they were they were horrible. And we had
you wouldn't have a life.
we had
You'd be drinking as soon as you got home to forget your
yeah, and
day.
we'd been like backpacking and stuff before, so it definitely wasn't. We were kind of adventurous, and just that wasn't something we really wanted to do. So Nick kind of got into SEO with someone he had met at his company he was working at, and I took off and I was teaching English in Asia for a while, and Nick eventually quit that company and kind of started doing SEO with the guy he had met, and they started selling some PBN links and whatnot, and then so I started kind of paying attention to Nick again. And because initially I was like, well, this just SEO stuff seems crazy. You're not going to make money on your computer at home. That's a fantasy, man. And then he started making some money, and I was like, okay, cool. Well, I want to stop teaching, so I started looking up what SEO was, and I was like, this is actually really cool, and I just kind of fell in love with it really fast. And then I guess Nick noticed that I was just kind of started going like all in on it, and we eventually ended up starting Sir Links a lot. I'd been doing some local stuff, some affiliate stuff. Nick was selling PBN links at the time, and had also done some kind of like local stuff as well, some random client work, some affiliate stuff. And then
I
Sir Links a
had
lot was
done it
born.
all by that time, all of it, all the way up and all the way down to failure on just about
Yeah.
everything in SEO.
Nick even did some really cool stuff like selling page speed optimization
Yeah,
on Fiverr.
I did that for a
Uh,
while.
Nick was the guy who was like spamming you messages on Facebook
Yeah,
trying to sell PBN links.
yeah,
That's not even a joke.
no.
That was
Chris
Nick. He probably didn't
never
actually spam
Chris
it. He
never had to
probably,
go through that level of suffering of making, $5 to
yeah.
$20 at a time in order to really slow roll the stuff.
I think
But
our first sale with Sir Links a lot was actually almost $2,000.
was it really?
Because I remember it. I remember when it
Mm,
happened, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing."
yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah, different times.
but
Different
but yeah,
times.
I was lucky because Nick, if you're just getting involved in SEO, it's like the failure rate is extremely high because there's so much
Yeah.
information out there, and there's so much really bad information. And as a new person, you don't know who the people are you should be listening to and who are the people you should just turn around and not listen to a word they're saying. And it's really difficult. And so for me, it was so much easier because Nick was like, hey, look, check out this course, join this Facebook group, and if you have any questions, ask me. So, I had someone who already knew how to do it, and yeah, I just, was on the easy path compared to how most
Me
people
and the
get into
guy
it.
that got me started, we tried every product, every guru out there, and I'd say 90% of it was something that made you want your hair to just, or no, that would make your hair fall out rather. You waste a lot of money. You're always kind of prodding in different directions. But yeah, if you're newer and you've already found us as a resource, and not to toot our own horn, but part of the reason all this came to be was because we didn't want people to have to go through the BS of trying to figure stuff out. And that's why we're not hyper promotional. Like, how often, we haven't even said it once tonight. Like, comment, subscribe, please, if you enjoy the
Go buy our
show.
backlinks.
Yeah, yeah. You don't even have to buy our backlinks. Like, we know what we provide. We use our own backlinks on our own projects, right? But if you want to go look around, or if you want to try outreach, like, we talk about that kind of stuff because this is an open resource kind of platform. That's the interest that we've got in sharing this kind of information.
That was
And
kind
it
of
really, yeah.
I was gonna say that was kind of the gap that I saw really when I was getting in was like, hey, we'll just make this very like user friendly, very like kind of easy to understand agency. And we also will kind of just teach people best practices and stuff because everything to me just seems like a scam. As someone just joining the SEO industry, I was like, what the hell is this place? It was like everything just seems like a scam. I don't trust any of these people. Everything that all these people are saying that are selling stuff goes completely against what I'm learning and what I know works. And so, yeah, that was kind of the idea behind Sir Links a lot. Just make this friendly kind of, yeah, resource. And
Now, if you do like us, please like, comment, subscribe, buy those down bad. Need
all
a
right.
lot of money.
But yeah, we got a podcast coming out with Chris Miles where we go into our story a little bit more
Yeah.
in in depth, and we'll promote that on our channel and Facebook group and stuff whenever that drops. Why not 301 to hub pages? I have an aged forum URL that fits within the broader domain niche I have. Was going to make a hub just for that as if I bought the forum. I
Sure.
feel like that actually kind of makes some sense.
Yeah, that'd be one of the first times that I'm hearing somebody ask where I'm like, that is an example of a time where you can use a 301, in my opinion, that would act naturally with what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
In comparison to like what we were just looking at, which is a random blog post about it's random information article that gets a 301 with a decent amount of power to it. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, hypothetically, let's go back into the real world example. Company A buys this power forum that matches the niche, merges together what is exclusively a forum, and then is recreating that forum essentially on their platform. Boom. Yeah, that to me makes perfect sense.
Yeah, you can think about it like this. Let's say that sirlinksalot.co, which is us, our amazing link building agency. Let's say sirlinksalot.co acquires an AI backlink tool. Okay, we buy an AI backlink tool. And so now we're saying, okay, well, we just bought this company. Now we're actually just going to 301 their entire website to, a page on our website and have it up on our main menu bar, So, it just goes straight to there now. And that would make complete sense, right? It's probably kind of how things are intended to do versus what SEOs are trying to do, which is kind of game the system versus like a legit like takeover of something that's operating over here and just moving it to your main site.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that, is well worth always considering, especially like as a newer SEO. And from what it sounds like, you've probably been an SEO for a little while, but if you're a newer SEO watching this episode, always try and contemplate what might happen naturally when it comes to websites being bought, used, sold, etc., and try and emulate what you can kind of conceptualize there, or through experience. The more you look through Ahrefs, the more you look through like massive sites that have existed for a long period of time, you're going to start learning patterns about what exists, how to kind of recreate those things, and then how to get away with manipulating data sets that help you rank websites in Google.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. All right. I'm being inclusive.
Yes, people.
What's
For
the,
now,
what's,
anyway.
well,
Until we
whatever.
got gene doping that makes us cat humans, or what the fuck.
I'm not even going to get into it. I was going to say, what's like because you have like sir and you have ma'am, but like what's the word that you say as like a sign of respect
It's like they, them, right?
But that's not like a sign of respect. Sir or ma'am is like
We're gonna
anyway.
get canceled. We're gonna get canceled.
We're asking questions here. We didn't
let's
say.
just be quiet. We're SEO people, and we're not good at it.
Well, I want to be.
No, we're good at SEO. We're not good at this new politically.
Just wait till someone. We're eventually gonna have to conform to this stuff. But anyway,
we'll use AI to, kind of recreate how we speak. Like, all right, just go through there and correct everything that doesn't,
That's gonna be awesome. We'll just
right?
feed our entire video into some AI software and say make this politically correct.
Correct all this. Yeah, correct.
And inclusive.
Thank you.
And then we won't get in trouble. Not that we have anything against, all this stuff. It's just it's a new world, right? We're old souls in a new world.
Yeah. We're pushing 40 over here. Okay. Yeah. We are about to. All right, we're not quite. We're both 37, right?
I'm not yet. I'll be soon though.
You're not 37.
Oh, my birthday's in a couple days. I forgot about that.
Really?
Yeah,
I forgot about it too.
I'll be 37 soon.
Wow.
All right. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Should I no index my category pages for a content website where I'm not trying to rank the category page? I'm gonna read that one more time.
No.
Should I no index my category pages for a content site where I'm not trying to rank the category page? Nope. No, we love category pages. Category pages are great. We kind of call them hub pages because it's essentially a page on your website that links out to a bunch of other pages on your website. So if you kind of think about it like a wheel, right? The center of the wheel and all the spokes coming out to all the other stuff. That's kind of how we view category pages. And those are very useful for, I guess, a few different reasons. One of them is it shows Google the structure of your website and like what things belong together. And this is very important for Google. Another thing is by doing that, you're helping the stuff that's all connected together kind of increase its relevance in a way. It's all linking to kind of related stuff, right? And third, it's really good for link juice. If you were to send backlinks to your category page, or even if you send a backlink to an article that's within a certain category, and then that article links back up to its category page, and that category page links out to all the other articles, you can kind of get this idea of a backlink coming into your website and that juice really starting to flow around the category. But we really like building links to category pages, especially if you're like an e-com site. Then it's like super crucial, I would say. But even from normal websites, they're just a great tool for a few different reasons, and would definitely not no index them. If you're going to do anything, what I would do is get into your theme or whatever and make a custom category page. You can actually beef it up. You can put some content on it so it's not just the standard like automatic blog reel. You'll still want the kind of blog reel thing in there, so you still get the all the interlinking and the link juice kind of spreading around. But you can kind of beef it up and you can make it better, right, by adding content to it. And then even if you don't have anything you want to rank it for, maybe you can find some little small keyword or something. There's usually something you can try to rank it for if you want. Anything to add on that, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, so let's go to bare bones, right? What is Google doing? It's sending out robot spiders, right, that are crawling all of your website. I mean, ideally, and indexing, looking for changes, etc. So with these category pages, if you are no indexing them, you're taking away, you're creating a blank space where there is no crawlability through these pages that are effectively showing off all the blog posts that go in through every category. So it would not be something that I would ever advise doing. And then, yeah, furthermore, like Chris said, if you got backlinks pointed at those category pages, or if you want to utilize that kind of behavior, then no indexing would effectively make that not effective. So just leave them as is. And then, like Chris said too, you could beef them up. But if your intention is not to rank them for anything, you just really don't care, still consider the fact that they are very effective tools for crawlability, if nothing else. So don't no index them.
And there's just no benefit to no indexing it. Like, I know some people, they're like, well, if it's not ranking, then it shouldn't even be there. But think about it this way, having 5 to 10 pages on your website that aren't really trying to rank for something is not going to do anything. Where this kind of thing starts to actually matter is if like you have like thousands or like hundreds of pages on your website that are just like junk filler stuff that aren't trying to rank for anything, and Google doesn't understand what they are or why they're there, and they serve no purpose. But like, even if these pages weren't trying to rank for something, they still serve a purpose, right? They're your categories, and that's a purpose in its own. Another thing I didn't really mention as well is just these things can also be good for indexation. It's another point for Google to just get in and have their bots crawl around and stuff. And just go to different pages, all the different stuff on your website. So, huge fan of category pages. Can't really stress it enough. Don't no index them.
This next question, I just wanted to show off this shirt that I found at the thrift store for 99 cents.
Very cool.
Is it not cool? I got so excited when I saw it.
You probably don't even use Pirate Bay. Not that I do either.
I don't use Pirate Bay. I would never pirate anything. But I
either,
really
man.
like the shirt. And I remember a long time ago, you guys might know the name, little genius Yashar Garofalo, that we got to meet in Vietnam, actually. I had known him as acquaintance on the internet for a while, but I remember back in the day, he had put up a post where he was asking if anybody had any startup t-shirts, because he was starting a collection of startup t-shirts. And I thought that was a really cool idea. It's something that I hadn't really thought of, but yeah, the right startups, it's like why I got excited about the Pirate Bay one. That's kind of, if I found a Silk Road one, whoa, that's got
Nice.
some history, right?
We could make them and put them in our Sir Links-a-Lot merch store, which
Yeah,
we
which we're
were
gonna
supposed to
do at
actually
some
be
point in
doing.
time. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, make some funny SEO t-shirts and stuff, put them in our merch store. All right. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, be sure to drop them. Looks like we're kind of starting to get to the end of our questions, so we might need some more, but we have more we can go grab from our group and stuff. But yeah, kind of slow stream, random time. You guys are all here. Thanks for being here. If you have any
Thanks.
question at all, ask them. Don't worry about it being stupid or whatever, or beginner question. We don't care. It's what we're here to do. All right. Even though I'm not trying to rank the category pages, does keeping them indexed add relevance in Google's eyes? Yeah, so I think we kind of already answered this anyway. Yeah, just keep them indexed, man. You don't need to do anything weird with them or just add any kind of, just keep them exactly how they are as normal pages, and I think that's your best case here. You know, adding like 5 to 10 pages to your crawl budget is really not going to do anything at all. It's not something you need to worry about. When people start talking about like no indexing stuff, they're generally talking about much larger sites where they're actually starting to worry about crawl budget, which is the idea that Google only allocates a certain amount of crawling for each website. And so they're worried that if they have a bunch of irrelevant pages that they aren't trying to rank, Google will waste their time crawling that instead of their important content. But yeah, not something you need to worry
You don't
about
need
for
to worry
like
about
five to
that.
10. It's just not, these pages are important anyway, and you figure out something you can rank them for. There's probably something you can get them to rank for anyway. Um, all right. Carly says, love your work. Awesome, Carly. We love you. Thanks for
Thank you.
being here.
Yes, very much.
Ben likes our jokes about AI and political correctness. What's up, Ben?
Rock and roll.
Matt says, thanks. You're welcome, Matt. Carly loves the tee. I love the tee. I'm actually a little bit jealous because I would wear that. I'm not
Right?
gonna lie, I'd wear that one all the time.
Well, that's part of the reason I showed it off. I was like, Chris, I bet would be jealous about this one. This was
Yeah,
a
I like
solid
it.
find. It was a solid find.
If I can't, I'm just gonna go make one. You can go like make any. It's so easy to like
No,
make
yeah,
whatever
you
t-shirt now.
for sure.
Yeah, I want
And
that.
I doubt it's even like possible to tell whether it's like original or not. Or maybe there is a way. I don't know. Like with old band t-shirts, you can do that, but I don't know about with stuff that's this new.
All right, let's take this one. Who are your top 5 SEOs to follow? You've already voted for yourself,
Okay.
so 5 more. Well, so yes, of course, SirLinksALot.co, Nicholas Altamore and Christopher Gegis
Dang.
of SirLinksALot
Yeah.
are
Pretty
the
solid, those
best.
guys.
Um, okay, so I guess,
I already know who we're gonna say for the top. We're both kind of infatuated with them since we did our podcast,
well, I'll just say who. Well, okay, so yeah, Robert is
right?
amazing. The one downside to Robert is he doesn't really put out a bunch of
He doesn't
content.
post anything. Yeah,
So like
no.
basically we have to like talk to him. And so
Yeah, you gotta talk to
it's
him.
not really someone you follow.
True,
But
that is
so yeah,
true.
basically there's this guy from Poland named Robert
Niechel.
Niechel, yeah. And we just had a podcast with him, so definitely go check that out. And he's like this super smart guy, and he loves AI, and we love talking to him, especially about AI. And he does a bunch of programmatic SEO as well. Just a really interesting guy operating on a very high level with like all the
High
biggest
level.
brands in
Yeah.
Poland. And I believe he's starting to do international as well. But I'll say out of like the people I follow, let me look up my YouTube.
I'm gonna give a shout out automatically
Diggity.
to a guy. Yeah, that's you already knew who I was gonna go with. Yeah, Matt Diggity, because on and off for a long period of time since I got started in SEO, I always really admired him above all else for what I thought was being honest and focused on giving like his best foot forward towards the people. that were trying to learn SEO, that were trying to, uh, kind of get a leg up in SEO. And I remember, it was a long period of time of going through all kinds of different SEO circles, saying all sorts of gurus come and go, but the guy was always popular. And I think always has had best intentions for the SEO community that follows him.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely Matt
Yeah, so
Diggity is
Diggity,
a follow.
especially if you're an affiliate and stuff, he just puts out a lot of good information.
Yeah.
Even when I like watch his videos and stuff, I'll like come away with like a little something. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. That's something I didn't really think of before, or something, some little thing that he's doing. So definitely Diggity. I also really like Authority Hacker. Gail and Mark over at Authority Hacker on YouTube. I think I think Gail might be on Twitter as well, but they put out some awesome stuff. Long form video. Who else we got over here?
Kyle Roof,
Kyle Roof's just like
gotta
an
give him a
all
prod.
around great guy to pay attention
Great
to.
guy.
Been in the game a long time, doing a lot of stuff. Um, who else we got? I'm just looking at my YouTube right now. I don't really have like a ton of people on YouTube.
And this is going to go back to just again, kind of historical feeling on stuff, but Greg Morrison, I don't know what he's doing now. I don't really know if he's putting information out. But if he is, he was with OMG Machines, and that's the first SEO ever that I was really following, that I feel like gave me just a very straightforward viewpoint on how to act as an SEO, especially because he kind of early on talked about how he quite honestly might not be the most data driven or programmatically intelligent guy, which I identified with very much so. But he was able to get SEO to work for himself, and then also execute plans of action for other people. So if Greg is still doing stuff and you look him up, then that is worth a follow, I would say.
So another thing I'm going to say is to go check out our
Yeah.
podcast page, and I'll go ahead and just link
Yeah.
that in
All
the
of our
group
favorites
real
are in
quick.
there.
Go check that out, and I'll post it on Facebook too. Yeah, so basically the people that we're bringing on our podcast are just like literally some of our favorite people.
Yeah. We reach out to them. We're not accepting, typically we're not accepting people that reach out to us. Like, we're actually we want to talk to these people. So yeah,
And
our favorites are going to be in there.
and there's even a bunch more as well, like, but so on our podcast right here, you can see,
Got a lot in the pipe.
well, I'll put this on the other screen so you can see it. But yeah, here's Robert, Israel Gaudet, awesome guy, Craig Campbell, he's a super black hat guy, really fun to talk to. Steve Toth, of course, Kyle Roof, Mads, Callan, and we're just kind of getting going here. We don't even have, there's a lot more here. But yeah, and then it depends what platform you're on as well. Like, for example, like on Twitter, there's a bunch of people that I follow over there as well that aren't even really like some of the bigger names, but there's just a lot of like value being passed around on Twitter. So you could go find me on Twitter and follow me, of course, and then follow some of the guys I'm following over there.
Yeah, Toth has an email list that's amazing.
Yeah.
Sends out actionable advice every week that'd be worthwhile to be on.
But yeah, kind of a long answer. I know we're probably
Mads.
forgetting just a ton of people. The thing is,
Yeah.
there's a lot of like good SEOs out there.
Corey.
Yeah, Corey, of course. Haven't looked at his course yet or anything, but his whole bringing topical authority into the mainstream is definitely something to watch and pay attention to. And he's kind of doing a deep dive.
Yeah.
Callan, of
Callan for
course.
domain hunting.
Yeah.
Mads for if you
Management.
want to know somebody. Yeah, management, but also just his ability to network. He is connected to all sorts of SEOs worldwide. So, you can kind of, if I were to like kind of think about it, it's like Mads would be an ultimate hub follow, in the sense that like anything that Mads is involved in is going to include some of the greater SEOs in the industry at any given moment.
Oh, someone else that I actually started following on YouTube lately is someone called Julian Goldie. I've actually been doing a bunch of YouTubing lately because there's just been so much stuff going on with AI that I was just like really looking for a bunch of like kind of new stuff, right? And I found a bunch of junk, a bunch of trash, or so you'd
Right.
find a channel and you see one video and be like, oh, these guys are good, and you watch the other videos and you're like, nope. But Julian Goldie has been doing a bunch of kind of like AI testing lately with a bunch of like kind of spam AI stuff, which is fun. But the thing is even though if that's not really the kind of SEO that I'm doing, um, just by the way that he talks about stuff, I just feel like he's a very like genuine guy, and the way he always puts like disclaimers on stuff and like says it how it is basically.
Yeah.
So it's someone whose videos I've come to like. Yeah, seems like a cool guy to listen to as well. But yeah, if you ever have any questions about certain gurus or whatever, you could ask us in our Facebook group, and we'll tell you yay or nay. We'll be the deciders, right?
I don't know if I want that kind of weight on our shoulders, to be honest. I prefer not getting into bullshit arguments with people on the internet. But there has been a lot of times, like even recently, I saw one where one guy, I'm not gonna say his name, called out somebody that I do admire, who we did mention. And I wanted to jump in there so bad, and I was like, it's not worth it. But yeah, there's a lot of BS out there, no doubt about it.
For sure. All right.
And anybody that watches this show that we should have mentioned that we do love and admire,
Yeah, we
sorry,
got
these
we
are
got
on
put
the
on the
fly
spot.
questions,
Yeah.
we got put on the spot. That's the way it is.
But yeah, best answer is just keep paying attention to our podcast. We're literally going to try to
Yeah,
bring on like all of our favorite people.
everybody we like. Yeah.
We the way what we're doing the podcast is we are just bringing on people that we actually want to talk to. We're not. Of course, if they have something that's like popular to talk about, that is a added
Yeah.
bonus as well. But we're really just bringing on people that we really want to talk to, and so you'll find people that we won't like
Yeah,
to pay
this
attention
is
to
the
there.
Joe Rogan experience of SEO. Okay, get ready.
All right. If Google is so against buying and selling links, why do they let these sellers rank in the SERPs or make videos on YouTube, which they own? So you're talking about us, I guess, because we are ranking in the SERPs and we're making YouTube videos.
But
Um,
we've never bought links for our own assets.
Never.
So, yeah.
Um, I don't know. It's kind of a good question, right? Um,
I don't think they are against buying links. I think that they have to say that they're against buying links in order to promote a sense of propaganda so that everybody isn't trying to game the exact system,
I think they're
right?
against
Like
buying
it,
links.
well, yeah, but conceptualize how their algorithm works. The point is, backlinks will always be an indication of popularity as far as what's going to resonate in the SERPs. There is no way around that. There just is not anything that I can conceptualize anyway. So as far as that goes, then the only thing they can say is, hey, you buy backlinks, we're going to find out and we're going to get you in trouble. Do you understand me? And that's all they've got. But if you're good and you're well rounded in understanding how their algorithm works, what backlinks do, how to diversify your backlink profile so that you're insulated, well, then you're playing a different game than the people that are just going to Google saying, oh, yes, mommy, I'm not going to do that. You're absolutely right. And I would hate to get penalized. Come on. I mean, that's the way it works.
But
If you want to be in this game, you got to be a little bit of a bad boy or bad girl. You got to get that outlaw in you. At least in the sense of, Google's terms of service.
there's also a bunch of
Um,
stuff like, for example, who says, like, for example, you go buy links from a link building agency. Who says that that link building agency is buying those links? Like, who says that
yeah,
they're
we're
paying
doing
money?
outreach for you.
Like, they're doing outreach. They're trying to secure, they're basically, rubbing shoulders for your company and, getting someone to agree to write content and link out to you in it. The line that you draw on this kind of stuff is very fuzzy. And, there's even white hats have embraced, link outreach. And they say, well, I don't actually pay money for it. Okay, well, at the end of the day, Google's not reading the communications between you and the site. So there's really no way for Google to tell the difference between a bot link and a white hat outreach link. But also,
unless it's spam.
I feel like Google, I think part of the reason why they might allow like link building agencies, but besides what I just talked about, to rank for and spread their stuff on the internet, is because I feel like Google might think that it's kind of too like subjective or whatever to like take that kind of content down. So once they start doing that, it's like they're just taking down stuff it's not illegal. It's not something that society finds morally reprehensible or something. It's literally something that they don't want, that they don't like. And at that point, it's kind of like,
they're the Gestapo
it'd be kind of like they're
backlinks.
playing like internet god or something. And I don't think they want
Yeah.
to be in the business of dictating what can be seen on the internet or not, unless it's like so, they've done things that are very, very against their rules or whatever. But as far as like taking a particular type of content, as long as it's not something that's like illegal or very wrong or something, I feel like they're kind of in
But
a
also,
tough position on that.
it's like that would even, like, hypothetically, like if they're pushing all backlink vendors underground, that would kind of just show the fact that okay, so backlinks do play in this game.
Well, everyone knows that.
So, well, I don't know if everyone knows that. You go through the white hat groups. We've been in these like gray hat groups for so long that it's almost like we forget that the majority, let's call it 80%, although it could be higher, 80% of people who are trying to learn SEO from the get-go, they don't fall into the categories of our schools of thought. Like they're not actually, they're not. No,
I
they're
don't know
not.
about
They're not.
80% though. That
It's
seems
so
really
rare.
high.
Dude, no, they find the Patels, the people that are
Patel
saying that
talks
you've
about link
got
building.
to. Yeah, he does, but he doesn't talk about it in the sense of gaming the system. He's got assets that abide by TOS. I remember
No,
once
because I know
watching something where he talks
I've seen some of
about,
the work that their agency does, and they are very aggressive with their link building. I remember seeing some of the stuff and being like, "Holy
yeah,
shit!" I couldn't believe that they
but
actually
they
did what they
like
did.
you said, they name them different things. They kind of skirt the way they talk about link building to create a narrative where they're not doing anything that's not white hat,
Yeah, exactly.
which is
What I was
interesting.
talking about. They don't mention it's paid
Exactly.
for links or whatever, but
No,
he has a
no.
bunch of content
He
on
talk
why links are important, why they can increase your
Yeah.
rankings, which in a way is supposed to be in violation of Google's TOS by saying I'm getting backlinks to increase my
Yeah.
ranking. Even if you don't
Yeah.
pay for it, if
Early
you're
on,
trying to build backlinks to increase your ranking, that's supposed to be against TOS as well. But anyway,
I don't remember what he called his PBN, but it was like a fancy, 20 word way of saying PBN that he was using to boost his clientele. And I remember reading that when I was selling PBNs heavily and just being like, cool, man. I mean, it's a PBN. Like that's what it comes down to.
all right.
But maybe that's it. Maybe like I had a little bit of an aha moment as you were talking, or maybe you did too. Maybe we're not a link building agency. Maybe we're a
We're
outreach
a communication
agency, and we need
agency.
to we need to rebrand, and then market on a bit higher
Yeah, it
level.
depends who you're marketing
Maybe
to. You
we're
market to SEOs,
right.
we're basically SEO facing. The way we talk about
Yeah.
our products and stuff is basically something that only really an SEO would understand, or someone who at least knows a little bit about SEO. But you could market in a
Yeah.
completely different way for the much more like kind of mainstream audience, which could be a thing. All right, let's see here. After purchasing an expired domain, can you rebuild it with the old content and how to do it? Yeah, we've got a ton of videos on this, so I guess we'll go ahead and just give you a short answer because we're almost out of time as well. Nick, you want to go ahead and take this one?
Yeah, sure. So you can do it, and let's start with how you would do it. You would do an archive rebuild. Archive.org will show you different places in time where the website existed, what's in or what's been kind of recreated or held in value in sense of like how many pages are still there, etc. And then you could do something like type into Google Archive Rebuild. There are free ways to do this. There are paid ways to do it that are pretty cheap that you could just on the fly have a archive rebuild done immediately. There are different factors that run into doing archive rebuilds in the sense of like copyright values. Like let's say you've got a legal website or something, maybe you get a letter at some point or an email about, or even just the site gets taken down for a cease and desist letter. But it is pretty rare. Now, I do talk about in the case study that I wrote, and I do have a small excerpt on archive rebuilds versus fresh content. And what you'll come to find is that archive rebuilds don't resonate in the SERPs the same way that fresh content does. You're going to get a lot more influence out of fresh content than you are out of archive rebuilds. And I think that's because people have been doing them for so long that Google knows if you're rebuilding a site that existed 15 years ago, and like it's HTML versus WordPress or something like that, and there's a bunch of broken links, that you're trying to do something that isn't quite the norm. So in regards to like using them for, let's say, PBN building, great option. In regards to using them to try and build a new affiliate website, not the best option. Would go with fresh content. So that's about it.
Cool. All right, let's see what this next one is. What are your thoughts on schema with Google using more AI? Shouldn't they be able to organize this info on their own? So this is actually something that I brought up on one of our recent podcasts with a gentleman named Israel Gaudet. So Israel, we did a podcast with, and he's been using schema to inject entities into his content to basically really show Google what I believe he does it with authors too, what the authors are about and what the articles are about.
Yeah.
He does it in a very like methodical way to really like spoon feed this information to Google. And one of the questions I asked him was, as Google gets smarter, do you think this will become irrelevant? Because Google will not need to be spoon-fed the information. They'll be able to just understand it. If you're writing your content decently at all. And it kind of reminded me of what people were doing with, they used to do geotagging. They used to geotag their images to add extra location relevance.
I don't think that ever did fuck all, quite honestly. Like, I mean, like, I remember when it like became the hype.
Yeah.
And I don't
Yeah,
think it was ever worth the
such like
time.
but anyway, and so my question was like, yeah, it kind of reminds me of doing this. You're basically just like really like kind of force this stuff into Google, and do you think it's going to become irrelevant? I think you're kind of right in a way. I think as Google gets smarter, this stuff will be less necessary to do. But I think the question is for now, what is good for now? And I think the answer is for now, Google is going to be running into a resource problem. Now that AI is here, the amount of resources that Google needs for other things and for search and as well, AI for search, they don't have enough resources essentially. We're running into a problem of it would cost them too much money and load times would be too great with the amount of data that they want to be able to basically push and analyze for every single search. So I think for now, schema is a very good thing to do. I think that Nick and I don't use schema enough. We actually, people have been talking about schema for years, and when schema came up, we were like, we'll do it later. And we do a little bit of schema, but we're like so basic with schema. We don't think it's necessary for ranking, but I do think it's a best practice. I do think it's a very good thing to do. I think it's something you should add into your SOP. But as far as like a list of things that are like important, there's much more important things that I think most people need to take care of first. Like for example, almost every site that we analyze on our live streams, people have major problems with like fundamental kind of like on-page optimizations, EEAT, basic kind of link building best practices, stuff like that. All of this stuff I would say is insanely more important than schema. Like it's not even on the same, like it's a completely different game. Schema is more like, okay, you've got everything else nice. Well, let's get the schema as well to get that extra, couple percent that puts us above competitors who are also doing all the other stuff correctly. And try to, grab some like FAQs or some featured snippets or whatever. Get some extra topical relevance in there. So I can't say it's not important. It's just, it's different, and I do think it's a good idea, and it's actually something I plan to start using a bit more, especially kind of considering this kind of resource problem that Google is having. I think it'd be good to kind of spoon feed them as much as possible. Google is also, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure they are slashing jobs or funding from their search department, their search teams or whatever. So you might kind of see, a lot of people are saying like, oh, the golden age of SEO is kind of over as Google kind of shifts to more stuff like AI and whatever. But yeah, you might kind of see, in a way, you might see like algorithm updates and stuff like this kind of like slow down, or you might even see search kind of decay a little bit. Not decay, but become worse. We'll see. But anyway, long story short, schema good. It might be a good idea to start doing more schema these days. Yeah, anything to add on that, Nick?
No, solid.
Cool. All right, I guess we're going to go ahead and call it there, guys. Thanks for coming out and listening to us rant about random SEO stuff. Like always, like, comment, and subscribe. It helps us out a lot for doing this stuff for free. You can also check out our link building agency at sirlinksalot.co if you need any kind of backlinks. We've got a sale on PBN links at the moment for the next 3 days, and then we'll have a new sale next month for June. What else? Oh, we got a podcast with Adam Chronister that we just recorded
Solid.
last week that I think we're going to put out next week, which is really good. We're talking about AI again with Adam. We're talking about how he's using
More on
AI
the
to
client spectrum.
yeah, to improve his client agency and some of the processes and the actual stuff that he's doing with AI to improve his agency's efficiency and whatnot. So definitely good talk with a lot of practical AI advice in there. If you haven't already, definitely go check out our podcast with Robert Mitchell, one of our favorite guys to talk to in SEO. It just always gets me so amped up about AI and stuff. He's just a really smart guy.
I was just sending him a message saying you've got the highest view duration for this month on our YouTube show, which, yeah, obviously it goes to show, because it's like, we spoke to him longer than we've spoke to anybody, and it was just like
We didn't want to stop asking him questions.
We could have gone on, yeah. The guy is just full of
Not that we didn't want to
amazing knowledge.
Not that we didn't want to talk to our other podcast guests longer. It's
No,
just that
not at
it's just
all.
that the topic AI and his knowledge about this stuff, and I just it's just such a interesting guy and topic to talk about. But yeah, Adam.
I feel like focusing on some of the stuff he's working on, right, or like the ways that you can really if you take it seriously, you can make a lot of money in the future of SEO. These are the kind of people that are giving you information that you're not finding anywhere else right now.
For sure, for sure. But yeah, do all that stuff. Also join us on Facebook, SEO Roundtable, or you just search for our brand, so links a lot, and
Dude,
join us in our Facebook group. We're in there every day, answering questions and whatnot. You can also join our mailing list where we put out our new podcast or sales and whatever else we got going on. What were you about to say, Nick?
we threw our boy Pete a curveball and just showed up on a Monday. And I was thinking about it on the intro that, you know, feel kind of bad because Pete wasn't let in. He doesn't miss a show. This guy is he's like our show mascot. Like, he is here every time. He says hello, and sure enough, there it is right
Where?
there. He showed up an hour ago.
Where?
Hey guys,
I don't
an
I
hour
don't
ago.
see it.
It's in Facebook.
Why don't I see it?
Hey,
Dang.
right underneath you doing
Oh,
the.
now I
He's
see it.
watching right now. He just says, "I'm
I see where he
watching,
says I'm
dude."
watching, but I didn't see it. I
Pete,
don't see his other
yes.
message in here. I don't know why
Oh,
I didn't
really?
get the other one.
It's right between mine and yours as we're getting started.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. All right, yeah, nice to see you,
Doesn't
Pete.
miss a beat,
Hopefully,
dude.
hopefully your new project is going good. You have to give us an update
Yeah,
on that sometime.
yeah.
But all right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and take off here. Hopefully, enjoy the stream, and we'll see you. Well, we might see you next week. It depends on what my internet's gonna be like in my new location. But I'm only gonna be there a week or two. I might even come back to Bangkok to do a stream because I do have access to a place here. But yeah,
You hear that?
what?
Dedication, alpha entrepreneurship.
That's right.
Instagram hashtag don't stop. Get it, get it.
Thank you, Nick. I'm glad you see the dedication here. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna take off. See you next time.